this reminds me of the good old days.
Remember the Winnebago?
This is like a decade ago.
Remember? Yeah, like 11 years ago.
When we had curtains in the little padded room.
Like a shower curtain back there.
Oh my God. Back in those days, guys, I was still writing loans and we would get in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's true.
And I'd be wearing a dress shirt and pajama bottoms.
Yeah.
No shoes. And I would do my whole workday in the office like that. I would do my loans like that. Those are crazy days.
It was crazy times.
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, back in those days, there's a lot of wholesale going on because the brokers ruined the market. That's how we got into this thing. But of course, we know that's not true. But they took the shoulder for it. Anyways, brokering is back right now in a big way, and they're bringing fantastic rates and products to the entire industry. And Remen here is to service that market. Now, if you were a wholesale account rep in the past or are right now and want to work with a top-notch wholesale firm, Remen, these guys are great. You want to check them out because brokering, it's on the rise. All you got to do is click this banner right over there.
Right on.
Alright guys, so here's some more doom and gloom news that we want to share with you. Actually, it's not. It just depends on where you stand in this whole thing. But see this here. Home prices are rising at 2 to 3 times the rate of inflation, and that's according to the S&P Dow Jones indices, okay? So let me explain how this works.
Okay.
If you have $2 and you want to buy a 50-cent piece of chocolate, you're going to need to part with 1/4 of your money to buy said chocolate.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, if the price of that chocolate, Frank, if it goes up to $1, I still want to get it, okay? Because inflation. Now I'm going to have to spend half of my money to get that chocolate. Again, 2 to 3 times. That's what they're telling us at the S&P. So if that chocolate goes up to $1.50 and I want it, I now have to part with
3/4.
3/4 of all of my money. That chocolate becomes more expensive because my money is not growing at the rate that the price of the chocolate is going up, and so goes the housing market.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Now, check this out. The sales of existing single-family homes peaked last November and have declined for 3 months in a row.
Wow, see?
Since then. Yeah.
Also,
check, and the number of pending home sales is drifting lower. Okay, as is the number of existing home sales.
All across the country.
That's right. Sales of new homes are also down, and housing starts are flattening. And very, very importantly, rent growth has largely stabilized at a fairly sustainable annual growth rate.
Ooh, so rents aren't going up.
That's right. Which may take some of the urgency out of the market from those tenants desperate to escape rapidly rising rents and get into the stability of a mortgage. So says Dave Blitzer of the Dow Jones Indices and Aaron Terrazas of Zillow.
Now, this is important, Frank, because what you're saying is rents are stabilizing right now. They're not going up. So months ago, as rents were increasing at an alarming rate, some of the folks were looking at the proposition of signing a new lease with yet further increases down the road and decided to jump ship and get into the home buying pool. Now, the thinking is with rents stabilizing or even decreasing, that sense of urgency is really dwindled.
Gotcha. Okay, but here's the kicker. According to Tin Luo, who is Genworth Mortgage Insurance's chief economist.
You're getting all the hard names.
No idea if I said that right. Okay. Low-tiered homes in 11 of the 16 cities covered in the index had year-over-year double-digit growth rates, indicating a demand and supply imbalance in affordable homes.
Now, again, this is also huge if we're going to try to prognosticate about where the market is going. The continued assault on first-time home buyers is what you're really talking about here.
Okay.
The most demand is for those entry-level homes right now.
Yes.
Now, these homes are increasing in price at the fastest rate, which means fewer and fewer true first-time home buyers could afford them.
Got it.
Now, think of it as a lack of plankton kills the ocean and a lack of first-time home buyers kills the housing market.
Okay, gotcha.
What's happening, Frank, is they're essentially getting priced out of the market.
Gotcha, right. Well, all this indicates to us is that the time to act once again is now.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
I mean, you could watch yesterday's show and the show before that and the show before that.
Right.
We're saying the same thing, right? Each and every day we're hit with new data that suggests a correction is near or upon us. Now, there's no evidence that we can see to suggest otherwise.
And you're right. A lot of the message in our show is the time to act is now.
Time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
But as you just said a moment ago, we're getting hit with all new information. So we're bringing you new information that's telling us the same thing.
Right.
Now, did you hear the time to act is now?
My time is now.
Now, we might have a chance because Barry Habib slightly disagrees with this, and hopefully sometime this week we'll have a chance to talk with him and go over our differing opinions.
Right.
Frank, this is interesting.
What is it?
Did you hear that the United States, I think maybe the world, has its first billion listing.
Shut up.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the kicker.
What?
There's no house.
Huh?
No, there's no house. It's just a piece of land. And it's $1 billion.
$1 billion piece of land.
So it's a 154-acre lot,
Really?
and it's bigger than Disneyland, which, by the way, is apropos because it sits atop the highest point and arguably the most expensive zip code in the country.
What?
What would that be? It's 90210.
Oh,
So
no
it's
way.
down there in Tinseltown. Now, this is going to allow somebody to have a 360-degree panoramic view of Los Angeles. So get this, Frank.
Yes.
You're going to be able to look at Los Angeles above the smog line.
Above the smog line.
Most of the time.
So you'll see this kind of dirty, dingy atmosphere underneath your home.
With a couple,
You'll be
couple
above that.
skyrisers poking through
Right,
it.
with a couple, and you'll be above
You'll
all
be
of
above
that.
all that. You're
Oh,
above the
that's
smog.
awesome, man. $1
So-
billion.
Yes, and it's zoned to build a 1.5 million square foot mega compound.
Oh, man.
So that means you can actually build the biggest house in the world atop the most prestigious zip code 90210. You literally get to build the castle atop Tinseltown. Now, of course, this level of arrogance doesn't come cheap. Hence the $1 billion price tag. But then again, you have to build the house. Now, the listing agent, it's kind of funny because there's only a select few people in the world who are going to be able to afford this.
Oh, for sure.
And they said the buyer is probably going to come from Russia or China. Now, if you remember a few years back when they had these massive yachts that were getting built.
Yeah, I did.
And every year somebody was building one that was 2 feet taller,
Yeah,
2 feet longer, 2
Yeah.
feet longer. It's like these Russian oligarchs have to have the biggest yachts.
Everything,
so, of
yeah.
course, they're going to have the most prestigious house atop of Hollywood.
What a
$1
trip.
million piece of land.
No, billion.
$1 billion
$1 billion piece of
of
land. Oh my God.
Crazy. Hey, listen, if you're meeting us for the first time, again, we're going to have all of our great sets in the background, but I kind of like this.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hey, make sure you subscribe to us because we're going to bring this to you every day, and it's free of charge, and we're not going to take your email and send it off to other people to spam you.
No, we
The
won't.
second part is, if you watch us on a regular basis, we can't tell you how important it is to us that you share this to other people in the industry because it allows us to keep bringing you great information about the real estate and lending community.
Yeah, so share. We love that. Leave us your comments down below as well. We'll catch you guys later here at the Natural Real Estate Post.
Later, skaters.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
piece of land.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.